Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to talk about create a traffic manager profile using the Azure portal. So there go the steps from the Microsoft website. So this website here, I always recommend that you guys should check these out as often as possible, so you would always stay up to date with the latest technology with Azure and the steps to create them. You could either use PowerShell or the CLI command to make those. So they're going to list here. Now, the steps is simple. You're going to create the traffic manager profile, you're going to add that, and then you're going to test. Okay. So let's just jump into a little slide here. So Azure Traffic Manager. So Microsoft Azure Traffic Manager allows you to control the distribution of user traffic to your service endpoint running in different data centers around the world. Showing you the DNS query, recursive DNS services, and the DNS response. As you look here, I prepared this little slide so that everybody would see. Now, priority, which is one of those options, priority routings. When a traffic manager profile is configured for priority routing, it contains a prioritized list of service endpoints. So traffic manager sends all traffic to the primary highest priority endpoints first. If now the primary endpoint is not available, then traffic manager would route the traffic to the second endpoint and so on. So priority routing shows you different stage and steps here. Let's see, I would make this a little bit more okay, so yeah, trying to make this bigger so you can see. Again, this is too big, so let's just make it probably 200. Yes. So now performance routing. So the performance routing method is designed to improve the responsiveness by routing traffic to the location that is closest to the user. And the closest endpoint is not necessarily measured by geographic distance. So instead, Traffic Manager determines closeness by measuring network latency. So Traffic Manager maintains an internet latency table to track round trip time between IP address ranges and each Azure data center. With this method, Traffic Manager looks up the source IP address of the incoming DNS request in the internet latency table. So Traffic Manager chooses an available endpoint in the Azure data center that has the lowest latency for that IP address range, and then return that endpoint in the DNS response. So now there go the performance routing. It's kind of explained, and the geographic routing. So when a traffic manager profile is configured for geographic routing, each endpoint associated with the profile needs will have a set of traffic location assigned to it. And any request from those region gets routed only to the endpoint. So some planning is required when you create a geographical endpoint. A location cannot be in more than one endpoint. Okay, so I think that's all that is with Traffic Manager. So geographic routing is just giving you these weighted routings. So the weighted traffic routing method allows you to distribute traffic evenly or unevenly. So in the weighted traffic routing method, you assign a weight to each endpoint in the traffic manager profile configuration. The weight is an integer from 1 to 1000, and the highest weight, the higher the priority. Weight routing, and that's a different topic. Now, guys, why don't we go ahead and jump into the portal and start configuring Traffic Manager. Create that. Let's go back out. You go to create a resource and you click here. If you have a resource group, you could attach it to it. So I don't have one. I'm going to create one. Call this RG1, which is resource group 1. I could name this first app. And I could, oh, this is not, okay, first app 1. It's not available. First app demo 1. Okay, first app demo 1. And I could leave this as code. And as for this, I'm gonna select ASP.NET version 4.8. I can leave this on East US. I can create a new Windows plan. I could call these app service P for plan. Leave everything else as default. Now, I could leave everything else as default. And just double check here. Now this is feasible. Next, it's as if that there's not much that I need to do on this second page. I can click next. Now let's make sure that this is off. Hold up. Let's double check to make sure. Okay. Now with monitor, you're gonna want to make sure that you turn this off, and then you click next, and you review and create. It's the same process with the other one. See, we really need to wait for the other one to be done. Create another resource group. Did I put the first one in East US? I think I am. So it's RG2. And then we're gonna name this second app demo 2. Now for runtime stock, we're gonna choose ASP.NET version 4.8, and I can put this on either West Europe, one on East US, the other one is on the West Europe, and I could create a new one called this app service P4 plan and 2 as this. This is the second one. Now, this is disabled is correct, and here, just want to make sure that we have the we disable, we turn off the enable public access, and we're gonna make sure that we turn that off, and we should go on tag, just review and create. And if you want to, you could give the tag a name. Don't really not want that, so just review and create. So now that we have created our web app, now we're gonna want to create a traffic manager profile. As soon as we finish, we will be creating the traffic manager profile. So there go the first one, and the second one is coming up soon. Okay. You don't really need to go there. So let's go create a traffic manager profile. Just type in traffic, traffic. So we get these. So let's create the traffic manager profile. Let's hit create. We could give it any name you'd like. I could call this my TR profile. Sorry. Now, these are the things that I was telling you about on this slide. So you see you have different options. You have performance, weighted priority, geography, multi-value, and subnet. So I can choose priority. I have my subscription by default. I can pick the same region for this one, and I can create. To create. Was it not create? Let me go here and see something. So it probably wasn't created. Let's go back out. Let's type in traffic. Okay. Let's create it, ITR, profile. I'll give this domain name, my charge is not available. So it probably was created then. Where is it then? How come I don't see it? No, expressions in. So I'm not sure why I don't see it, but I have just created it. Okay, so it's right there. So let's go on. So now we're going to add a traffic manager endpoint. So all we do is just go to endpoint and add, and we already have the type as the Azure endpoint. We could give it a name. I could call this AZ. AZ endpoint, say lab. Now when it comes to the target source type, you're gonna want to select that it's the app service. And for target profile, make sure that you associated that to the region that you want this, and the priorities as one. So you can leave that as default. And all you want to do here is just click add. Now you're gonna want to follow the same step for the other one as soon as this is finished. So AZ endpoint lab. I could call this AZ endpoint lab 2. And the priority now you see is changed to 2. You just have to make this, so this is the backup. So basically what that is the backup, right? So we have so we add the primary, and now we're gonna have the failover endpoint. So when the primary endpoint is unavailable, traffic would automatically route to the failover endpoint. So that's basically what we're doing here. Let's put this on here. And we do that here. So you're gonna want to make sure that you have the status is online. So you see you got the priority one, which is the first, the primary, and the secondary is here. So both of them is enabled. Now you're gonna want to pick up the DNS. If you go on overview, see what's going on here. It's gonna take some time. It's coming. So you want this DNS name, but first of all, you got to make sure that the checking endpoint has done and everything is just show online instead of being checking endpoint. So it's still on the checking endpoint status. So let's just bear with it, guys. Let's give it some time, and it's coming. So now if you have so after waiting, guys, if your monitor status shows, see, not sure why. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. For an endpoint, just take forever. Not sure why. So once this is checking endpoint, if we were to test this, we may not get it because we want this to be online. I'm trying to avoid to make this video not too long. See what's going on here. You may not get that. So the endpoint is not online yet, but just wait. So you see how it says that the monitor status is in the grid. So the way to fix that, I ran over this problem before, is to go to configuration. Once you here, you will see it says that port. So endpoint monitor settings. So Traffic Manager can monitor your services to ensure that they are available for monitoring to work correctly. You must set up the same way for every endpoint within this profile, so you can specify the protocol, the port, and the relative path. So Traffic Manager will try to access the file specified in the reaction path via the defined protocol and port to check the uptime. So the way to fix this, you see how this is on port 80. So to make this online, you have to go on and choose port HTTPS and now type in the port number, which is 443, and anything else could stay as default. So do not input sensitive customers data in this field, API key, secret, and authentication token. Okay. Now this priority, you could type in 200, but there's no need for that. As a matter of fact, let me see something. It says configuring the status code range. Yep. So from 2, maximum supported range is 8. So application for HTTP and HTTPS protocol application for all endpoints in this profile. Okay, I get that. So let me go ahead and just save this. And if we take some time and go back here to overview and refresh, it should automatically be online. So we just got to give it some time. It's going to come online soon. These are all into configuring a traffic manager profile and tested in Azure. Okay, so status degrade here, that's not what we want. So we want to make sure that as we fixing this problem, so we gotta wait until this monitor status change from being degraded to being online. So as we, all you do is just go on settings, under settings, you hit configuration. So the path is any, and that's good. And you just change this protocol endpoint to HTTPS instead of HTTP. And you save. Let's go back to overview and see. Just refresh. Should take some time, but it should be, status should change from degrade to online. So that's like a custom area settings. We don't need that. We just want to make sure that we get these degrade changed to online, and it should be soon, trust me. If you make the change we made, it'll do it. Let's refresh. It's good. It should change that though. I'm not sure why it takes forever. So just to avoid making this video too long, let me end this here, and then we'll retrieve back on once this status back to online. But all that is just to go on configuration, and then down here you just change this protocol from HTTP to HTTPS, and then you make sure that you put port number for HTTPS is 443. It's taking. Let's see. So it's 443. So yeah, we correct. Let's go back. Switch back to the portal. That's what we have here. So we did not sure why. Man, going over here again and see it is still on the grid. I change this. So let me end this video and I'll retrieve back once it's online. We will test the traffic manager. I'll see you soon in the next lab.